the good thing about these poetry readings is we've slowly been getting it together. The last two readings have been posted on YouTube, and we've been trying to do a live stream. Yet again, failed miserably this time. The internet's out of the library today, so we're just, when I came in and Rosalie is like, the internet's out, I was like, I'm so not surprised. It's the way things work around here. But third time's a charm. We're gonna try to do a live stream next time. And no, we are gonna do a live stream next time, and it really is gonna work that time, okay? And as usual, time around here is sort of a relative thing. Oh, wait a second. I had these freshly printed out, so I wanted to, these are sort of the, I'm gonna start off with my newer stuff. We did a poetry reading on June 19th at the Tool Shed, and it was sort of the first thing that had happened at the Tool Shed for quite a while, and I was actually really surprised at the response to the poetry reading. There was a turnout, and people were really paying attention. So as I was leaving my house to go down to the Tool Shed, I just started to get this feeling. It was weird. I live at the top of Apodaca Road, and Archie's more sort of halfway up or a third of the way up or something. So I must be at the end of the cord. But I couldn't get my car started, and so I had to pop the clutch, which was weird. You know, you'd think this shouldn't really be part of the poem, but it was a timing thing. So I call the poem portents or signs. On the way to the poetry reading at the Tool Shed, I have to roll my car downhill, popping the clutch. And then I'm just starting down Apodaca Road once my car is started. A solitary Scots oriole flies directly across my windshield, brilliant yellow and jet black, on a determined mission to their flock in the bosque. A massive bull snake crossing the highway just before downtown Dixon. I barely miss it. A pair of lovers having a very heated and public argument just outside of the Dixon Co-op as I drive past. There's a field there at the end of Apodaca Road that I walk my dog pretty much every day. The poetry dog there. She's over there. And so the first half of this poem was composed in my head in the winter. And the second half was sort of something that happened just a couple of months ago. The frost lay on the field like a mirror of frozen moonlight, shimmering pearlescent in the first rays of light from the midwinter sunrise. Every drop of frozen moisture as it clung to the dormant vegetation, glistening and sparkling with a spectrum of rainbow colors. Each particle of frost a miniature fairy kingdom populating the field with the most serene and infinite form of enchantment. This is the second half. Walking through the field at sunset, a friend having died, a senseless, painful, and awkward death. The mast of his sailboat tangled in some power lines near the Berkeley Marina. Although I hadn't yet heard of the incident, and finding out the circumstances proved extremely difficult. The sunset colors deepening as dusk approaches, purples and roses gradually shifting to mauve, orange and yellow, transforming to umber and ochre, gray tones in the clouds and the shadows, deepening in the dusk to darkness, illuminated only by star and moonlight. A family of hummingbird moths delicately feeding upon the flowers of a wild tobacco plant in the fading light, their proboscis perfectly formed to enter the exceedingly long tubular flowers and sip the divine nectar, pollinating their plant lover's ovum. Let's see. I wrote this quite a while ago in Berkeley. It was probably, I've never had this experience writing a poem before or since, so I was literally sobbing by the time I finished it. I guess it must mean it has some meaning, at least to me. When the exact center of a line of time finally intersects with the absolute middle of the solid night, they rupture a rift between the realities, a dimensional chasm, a cosmic orgasm, both imploding and exploding, each to the other unloading, to seed the infinite night with sacred light and spread out space with time. Reflections of the beginning and ending of things, all that the past to the future brings, as the warping of light into matter becomes quickened by time, they precipitate the common mind. What do I got here? I just turned 60 this year, so there's a lot. Okay. Oh yeah. I had the first line of this poem running through my head for months, literally months, I don't know how long, 3 months or something. And I was like, I got it, what is it? Something else is gonna come. I got it, it's there, something's gonna come. And when the second line came, the whole poem just fell out, did it. So, we were swindling the Indians by kindling their indolence, wandering and yawndering. We were foundering our boundaries, and then we were killing the villains and chilling their chillins. We got a boatload of bazookas for that platoon of palookas. Oh yes, we'll be rolling in simoleons just so long as we've got their holy lands in our oily hands. Okay. What do you think?
I think you take all the time you need.
One more? Two?
One
One more?
more.
1.5.
The best one to last. But leave
Well-
us wanting more for next time.
All right. How about two?
It's dark out.
You drive a hard
All
bargain.
right. I left Berkeley like 6 years ago, and somehow this poem got left in my storage unit, and I was like, oh, I gotta find that poem. Where is it? Somewhere. It's there. And so when I finally got all my stuff out of storage and the poem came back into my hands, it was like, oh, it's like my dear old friend. It was a period of time in Berkeley where it was like a style of poetry that I'm not writing in at all now. And this was one of the first in that phase. Gazing through the field of you, projected from the jewel within your heart. Your organism exudes emotion in liquid form of imperceptible density, shifting focus, color, and intensity. From the central flower grows, whirls and flows, changing form and perspective, moving patterns in fluctuation. Feelings become memories in gradation, floating remnants of past incarnations, streaming with the strength of feeling, weightless, invisible, soothing, healing, the colors of remembered dreams, charged with the force of spirit, an astral song, but we barely hear it. In this pool of felt memory, we are floating, surrounded by our solid light coating, where the mundane obscures the sublime. We are bound to matter, blind to dreamtime. With that charged aura, as you channel power from the flora, from the flexibility of your field, using nature as your shield, with compassion for all your relations, creating love with inspiration. Harmonize your body with heaven. Let your mind be still. Become a conduit for the starry night, for it is their ancient light that shines through your will. This is a real old one. I don't even know how old it is, but I'll finish it off with it. The good thing about our group is you can see everybody's style is completely different. It's all totally unique. Everybody's voice is like amazing. But what I found, and particularly going into my older writing, and you'll see this, that I go through these phases and my voice changes just a lot. And I couldn't even say, this may be about 30 years ago. Bordering on the rage of frenzy, parasites tunnel through the rotted meat of my memory. I'm deliriously reeling. My nose explodes with flower essence. One eye distorts, horribly leering. drilling the skull, blood spitting out of the forehead, dancing with the goddess, twisting, madly writhing, the Medusa, a crown of snakes, spinning ferociously, creating a vortex, a manifestation of death.